Hello, hello, Grand Rising. Hello, Yaya. Grand Rising, darling. Grand Rising, everyone. Weird. I don't remember putting that there. Okay. Interesting. Grand Rising, Lynette. Hello, darling. Hello, Wendy. Hello, beautiful. Grand Rising. Hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. Of course, it doesn't ever last long enough. But as y'all know, the week will go fast, as always. Grand Rising, Karen. Hello, beautiful angel. Hello, Christina. Yes, it was fun. I love laughing with you guys. So those that don't know, child of God is Wendy. There's another child of God in in TikTok. But the child of God in here is Wendy. Yes. Grand Rising, Chris. Hi, beautiful. I mean, we're all children of God, but I mean, just as a moniker thing, as an avatar thing. Well, Grand Rising, Trey. Hi, beautiful. It's getting so close to Christmas. I can't even believe it. Can't even believe it. My grandson's going crazy. We went to the parade the other night. That's so fun. So fun. They got this. They got the circle where basically everything happens in this town on the circle or around the circle, and they got it all decorated, and Santa comes. So that's our next thing we're doing is going to the circle and going to see Santa with Chunk. And I know all about the history. I know all about all that, but I do it for my grandson. Right? I can't tell my family just because Christmas is not the not the holiest of all holidays, right? It's all in how you take it, though. I really believe that. I believe it's all in. I celebrate it because I celebrate it for my grandson. Yeah. Oh, I know, Wendy. I know. It is still a beautiful time of the year, yes. And as long as, you know, my kids and grandson enjoy it, I'm going to keep doing it. But yes, I know the truth. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. There, lots and lots of more galactics are showing themselves, and people are trying to write it off as blue beam, but I really feeling the energy. I feel like they're not happy with our government, for one thing. I know that because the government didn't tell us everything they were supposed to tell us. They were supposed to tell us a lot more, but so now they're like, oh yeah, your government won't tell you, we'll tell you. Right? Yeah. You know, my kids grew up with Santa. This is before I knew anything about the real story behind it. So I'm not going to take that away from my grandson. Yeah. Right, Trey. Right. We do it for our grandkids. Hello, Julia. Hi, beautiful. Yeah. Exactly. Do whatever our heart desires. Yeah. You know, I like some Christmas music, some I don't care for. But some I like. All right, that was Sky Scent. And I'm going to put our Rainbow Butterfly playlist on. What about us? The Earth song. All right. There's our butterfly. Hope y'all had a great weekend. It's always too short, though. I love the weekend, but it's always too short. We're going to get right into our cards. We got a lot to cover today. We're going to go through a portal today, because today is Monday, so it is portal day. And we're going to do a chapter in the Immortal, of course, and get into a little bit of the Emerald tablets. So that's what we're doing today. All right. Hello, Flower Power. Hello, darling. Wow, you slept 16 hours. Hi, Mama Bear. Hi. Hi, Brandy. Hi, beautiful angels. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to fill the day with love and, do that for my grandson. Yeah. Okay. All right. It did. Like, so time is going fast, right? Hey, Navarre, my beautiful angel. Hi, Tammy Lou. Hello. I didn't see Dustin. Oh, there he is. Hi, Dustin. Welcome in. All right, here's our chakra wisdom cards. Hi, Irish. Hi, beautiful angels. Chakra wisdom says, ooh, solar plexus, the inner harmony. Inner harmony. I trust my innate wisdom and respond accordingly. I do not allow my mind to create doubt or to override my strong gut feelings. I accept and express my feelings while accepting the feelings of others. I'm at peace with myself and those around me, and I do not harbor unrealistic expectations of myself or of others. I release the need to control others. My personal power is free from ego and from any desire to manipulate or exploit situations or people. The foundation of all my thoughts and actions is trust in myself. Yes, trust in myself. August 21st, I believe, is what the Urantia book says. August 21st. And that makes him a Leo, which makes a lot of sense. They call him the Lion of Judah, right? They call him the Lion of Judah. So, oh, by the way, the itinerary for today might change. You know how spirit is. Sometimes they'll come in with something else and it might change. So I always leave it open for spirit to guide. Okay. Here is our healing energy oracle. Healing energy oracle. Hello, Deanna. Hi, beautiful angel. Acceptance. I accept every step that life presents me without resistance. I try to find out what the universe is trying to teach me so that I can grow. Thus, I advance in freedom on the path of light. Yes. Ah, you got the lion, the lamb, and the wolf in the same house. Hi, Trina. Hi, beautiful angel. Here and now. The future does not exist, and the past is gone. I focus on the present moment. I have confidence in life again because here now there is no danger. Everything happens when my soul is ready. Yes, absolutely. Everything happens in divine time. Stay in the 0 point, the middle. Not before, not after. Stay in the middle. Open to the universe, or choose, right? You always have a choice. You are free will. I am discovering my worth and my abilities. I have confidence in my value and my potential. I reclaim my inner power. I accept and love myself completely. Thus, I am open to the divine light of the universe. Yes, be open to light. All right, here's our work your light. Glorious day, Christy. Hi, beautiful. Here's our work your light. Work your light says, Star Mother. Yes. How can you mother yourself? And there's that code that goes with that. Star Mother. Yes. Aw. Well, we like having you here, Dustin. Hello, Todd. Hi, darling. Hello, hello, hello. Well, we do believe in God. So if you don't believe in God, this might not be the place for you. God is source. God is light. God is love. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. Your guidance is divinely guided. The Akasha, yes. And share your voice. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution expression. Come out of the cave and grab that rainbow. Yes, God is dad. Exactly, Cinnamon. Exactly. Yep, exactly. All right. So you're not meant to be here. You're not ready for this frequency. Okay. Here is our rose cards today. Our rose cards today. Only a fool thinks there's no God. Exactly. Exactly. All right, here's our rose cards. Open, say yes, expand through the extremes, trust life, trust life. Yes. Trust the seasons, embracing change, cycles of life, transition, and growth. Yes. And the anointed. Answer the call. Leadership. Empowerment. Soul gifts. Yes. The anointed. Can someone please escort Infiltration 222 out, please? Thank you. All right, here is our angel card for the day. Entrepreneur, self-employment suits your disposition and intentions. Working for yourself allows you to better follow your intuition and divine guidance. We are your co-workers and teammates who remain loyally by your side to ensure your success in all ways. Yes, entrepreneur. Well, I shuffled and I haven't seen them yet. I share them at the same time. Here's our animal for the day. Ah, the butterfly. Rebirth. Rebirth. You can reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. Be the butterflies, guys. Be the butterflies. The butterflies happen when the 12 strands of DNA are attached, are online. That's what happens. We turn into butterflies. When our 12D and higher DNA is aligned and online. Yes. Here's our fairy card for the day. Transformation. There we go. We got the butterflies and we got transformation. This is what's happening, guys. We are all transforming. This fairy tells you to surrender to a transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Yes. All right. Our awakened dreamer, because we are the awakened dreamers. Let go. As you awaken, you become aware of the never-ending conveyor belt of bliss. Yes. When you absorb the nectar of each gift and release it when it's time to let go, you realize attachment comes from not trusting. There's always more where that came from. Yes. Ha ha ha. Okay. Next we have our portal. We always go through a portal on Monday, but I need to do our affirmations first. So we call forth from within the light of source. Thank you for standing at the forefront of our hearts and minds. Thank you for activating the ancient wisdom of our souls. We welcome in the support of heaven, earth, the stars, light beings, and beyond. We choose to anchor the energy of remembrance in unity, peace, love, and wholeness. Through the great pyramids, bringing our energy in service to the earth and to the light, for the wholeness of life everywhere, to support all in remembering the truth of who and what we are. Who and what we are. And here's our portal. Here's our portal, and it's Sirius Star Blessings. Yes, proceed. Be seen. Push through. Sirius Star Blessings. All right. Let's see what that means. I don't know. I don't think we've had that one before. Sirius Star Blessings. Okay. Sirius is the brightest star in the sky and was of the utmost importance to the ancient Egyptians. In fact, our current new year was celebrated as the coming of Sopdet, the goddess queen of Sirius. As during the last week of December, Sirius can be found high in the sky between midnight and dawn. The Sirius star system is the home of a race of humanoid beings who most likely live in a dimension higher than our own. It's believed that these beings can be contacted through spiritual practice. Tuning into them can enable us to receive high-frequency spiritual downloads. This card draws the bright light of Sirius and the support of Sirian star beings into our world. When it comes to us, it helps us find light in moments of darkness and uncertainty, and to continue on. If you feel strongly connected to Sirius and its star beings, it's likely that you are connected to them on a spiritual level. And if you take time to locate the star in the sky, you might even have a sense of coming home. Find an image of Sirius online or look for the star in the sky. Imagine a great beam of light coming down from it and washing over your being. Know that the electric blue frequency will be supporting you as you move forward. The message that comes with this gateway is a giant yes. It brings the energy of wishing on a star and seeing that wish coming true. This is a time for you to move forward with any projects or ideas that you have felt called to carry out. There is an energy of positivity, abundance, and excitement surrounding you at this time. Whatever dreams you've been revisiting recently aren't dreams, but premonitions. Know that whatever you're connecting with on the inside is soon to be something you'll be experiencing in the physical. So think about what you desire instead of what you fear. See yourself celebrating as if your wildest dreams are coming true. As you do so, you'll be creating the perfect energy for them to manifest in your world. Yes. Arcturus is known to be called the man-child. Ah, love it. All right. So let's concentrate on going through the serious star blessings this week. Right? Ask the universe what it is they want you to create, what they want you to do as far as your voice goes or your hands, creation with your hands. All right. So here's our butterfly for the day. It's a monarch, one of my favorite. I used to collect the little chrysalises, and monarchs would come out. Life doesn't have to be perfect in order for me to choose happiness. Today I choose happiness. Yes. Love that. Today we choose happiness. Tomorrow we choose happiness. We choose happiness always. Always, always. Ah, electric blanket and coffee. That sounds good. All right. And here is our ascended master that will be with us today. Guiding us along is the divine director. Ahaha. Okay. Intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Look at that. Happiness. Choose happiness. Happiness is our purpose. The divine director. Okay, there is a message today. There is another message today. From the wisdom of the rays, Hatan. I thought there might be. I felt it coming in, but I wasn't sure. Okay, let's see. Ah, okay. All right, it's this one. It's not Hatan, it's Corton. Tamaros Masu Corton, living up to your greater potential. That is the message today. Let's see. All right. Here's a date for you. January 10th is a date that might be that some of you might resonate with. January 10th. Okay. Commander. I knew it. The divine director, commander. Commander Tamaros Masu Korton here, in the light of God, in service to him and you of his precious reflections. Always call in his light for protection in these days of chaos, and call in his light for insight as you listen to these words. That's Bobby's birthday. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Okay. And speaking of light, many things are being prepared for a light show of grand presentation. I feel like he's going to tell us what's going to happen, what's coming. Okay. It is our task to be sure you, the people, have opportunity to know whose show it is. Whose show it is. Ha ha ha. Evil will always show up on your doorstep first, and it will be your accumulated wisdom that will allow you to know the difference between the wolf who is dressed as the lamb and the lamb. Wow, we were just talking about wolves and lambs. You can't make this shit up. Wow. If he speaks evil, is accompanied by evil, advises evil, and praises evil, a good measuring stick to detect the presence of the adversary, then pay attention to such actions, for actions speak far more accurately than words. In the days of Kali, chaos, there is more of that which you would term bad in your nation and world than there is apparently good behavior. Those who proclaim themselves to be in service to God of lighted source must realize that it is you who will be the lighted torches of truth and wisdom. Your actions and words will be how you will be regarded, knowingly or unknowingly, as mass consciousness moves toward that which you call Judgment Day. Whether that day is actually a thing as scientifically explainable as the entering of your solar system into a photon belt, or the shifting of man's vibratory frequency to a higher rate, or a final confrontation between good and evil, or all of the above, a day of decision and atonement is coming. It has to. You called for it. You called for it. Current events and stellar happenings. My focus is on that which is regarded as communications and communion with the hosts and their chariots of fire. It has been a long time in your accounting since civilized man has referred to the vehicles of their ancestors and heritage in such a primitive manner. But you are not as far from that mindset as you would like to think. I do not mean this to belittle. However, there is a lot you have not experienced as a modern civilization as a whole. Meanwhile, there are segments of your planetary society who not only have unraveled the so-called secrets of the universe to just enough of an extent to be dangerous in their ignorance, but who also are actively using those secrets to destroy your own planetary environment, and in turn destroy you as a species of Earth man. You are higher universal man, human. You are the creative fulfillment of God, Atan. Is it not time that you, as a brotherhood of human beings, start to live up to that genesis? There are outrageous happenings taking place in your world this day because of the controlled media's relentless onslaught of fear and scandal, spin techniques of distraction, and basically mind control. It is becoming more and more difficult to discern the difference between that which is directly perpetrated upon you by the elite evil planners and that which is more indirect that you would consider as just life happening to you. As Geophysical Commander Saltek has reminded you upon many occasions of past lessons, the Dark Ones have so much technology directed toward, say, the creation of natural disasters that it becomes impossible beyond a certain point to separate the distinctly man-made disasters from those events which are natural planetary reactions to that which is being inflicted upon her. After all, you are dealing here with a living sentient being, whether you recognize same or not. It would be wise for you ones to pay more attention to what the Native American peoples have been trying to teach you for centuries about living in harmony and about the interconnectedness of all things. Hello, Victoria. Hi, beautiful. Look around you with truly objective eyes and then try to tell me this is not a civilization in the throes of decay. Your court system is about as bad as it can get. I know from firsthand account our court system sucks. Our court system is awful. You have no law and order, only manipulation and greed, while the real criminals sit on the bench and in public office. Even the word bench holds the true meaning of its actual purpose. The judge's bench is the Latin word for bank. That is, the judge sits on the bank. He officiates for the system of the bankster, banking gangster cartel. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, it is the same old bunch of Pharisee money changers still pulling a fast one with your make-believe finances. Oh, this is a good message. This is straight and to the point. Until the day they have finally maneuvered all your real assets into their coffers. Well, dear ones, it is now that day. America and the world are in foreclosure. Look at your national business structure, the little that remains within your national borders, and world financial markets. The falling dominoes have been set in motion. Then, with the sweep of a pen, oh, wow. Who just said that? With the sweep of my pen, right? Then, with the sweep of a pen, signing an executive order, maybe in conjunction with some earthquakes or riots or floods to keep you occupied. You will discover who really holds the wealth. And I promise you, it is not going to be you, the people. Is there hope for your assets? If your focus is only on your gold, no matter how you perceive the outcome to be, you will be the loser in the end. For those of you who realize that even God's nation must have a financial base from which to function in justice and moral responsibility for all its people, then yes, there most certainly is hope. Nevada corporate structure is your tool. The adversary knows it. They know we know it. And they know we are showing you how to do it. Will it always be available? The only thing that you can always count on is God to show you the way. Right now, Nevada corporations are available to help you better your plight and provide some measure of security. What happens if or when that is taken from you? Ye of great faith, God will simply show you another way. You err greatly when you limit the resources of your father-mother source. For in so doing, you limit your miracles and the methods for those miracles to manifest in front of you. The adversary has a plan to eventually take every last thing you own. But don't forget, Chilas, God also has a plan, 2000, and it is magnificent and perfect in every detail. Are there honest politicians in your world? Yes, there are a few. Sonny Bono could be considered to be someone who, at least in the eyes of the people, stood for something sorely lacking in your government. Now you know why he was taken out. The belief that the common man can make a difference. Was he a saint? You are human. You will make errors. I am not judging the man. That is between him and God. It is noteworthy to look at the effect Sonny Bono had on people. If nothing else, the outpouring of sympathy demonstrates that ones are still moved by sincerity, compassion, and not taking oneself too seriously. These are qualities your Khazarian controlling elite have mostly weeded out from your men and women of leadership. All right. We will end there with that message. Our job is just to concentrate on ourselves. Go inward. you know, we've always keep saying things are going to happen, things are happening, you know, and I do believe that we are already at the precipice. It's like our Earth is actually changing where it is in the universe with the help of galactics. Right? Okay. Let me write it down. Dustin, what color would you like, darling? You can have a rainbow color. Exactly. Not religion, God. Mm-hmm. Yep. What rainbow color would you like? Yes, Teresa, all that's going to come out. All that is going to come out, but it is a distraction also. Focus more on your inner self. Yeah. Surprise you. Okay. All right. I'll surprise you. Let's see. Where is... There. We'll do green. We'll do green for you for your hot chocolate. How about that? There we go. You're on there, darling. Okay. Okay. Exactly, Christina. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. Okay, let's see. What time is it? It's 9:40. Okay, we're going to get into the Immortal. Guys, this is I believe this is the beginning of the spicy chapters. Yeah. Okay. So this is book 1 and 2 of the Immortal. We're on book 2. Legend has it that John, the author of the Apocalypse, never died and still walks the earth after 2,000 years. These pages have the fascinating story of one man's encounter with a virtual immortal. With a mortal. His name is John the Revelator. And he is still walking this earth. Teaching, teaching, teaching. Okay. If you don't want to hear spicy stuff, then this might not be the place for you today. Okay. This chapter is chapter 14. It's called The Confrontation. The Confrontation. The rest of the evening, we continued to talk about a range of philosophical topics. With Philo, remember Philo just came to visit with their friend Lance? Always trying to convince us that love was the answer to everything. He seemed to think that if we just did not ask questions but experience his brand of love, all questions we have about any subject would be taken care of. After Wayne left, Philo spent about 2 hours talking to Elizabeth, explaining many of the things he wrote in his journal. Normally, this would not have bothered me, but she seemed to be unusually caught up with this guy and hung up on his every word. She acted as if Philo's words were greater than John's. I could not for the life of me see how Elizabeth could even come close to putting them in the same category. I was confused over her judgment. It was as if she had moved backward in consciousness and had become someone else since Philo had come to visit. The next day, I was glad that Lance decided to visit some friends and took Philo along with him. During their absence, I sensed that Elizabeth was looking forward to Philo's class. I decided to attend if Elizabeth did, and had to admit to myself that the reason was more out of distrust for Philo than any interest I had in his class. Lance and Philo returned to our home about 6 that evening. Lance was again excited about a couple more girls they met at the Ram pub that they stopped at on their way back. During dinner, we tended to talk about standard small talk. The only thing out of the ordinary was Philo's excessive flattery of Elizabeth. She apparently had prepared the best meal he had ever eaten. She looked so beautiful and vibrant since he had taken the dagger out of her back. Her aura was now golden and vibrant, whereas before he had arrived, it had dark patches in it. I then felt particularly restless when he warned her not to let anyone close to her allow the dagger to be placed in her again. I knew that was a subtle dig at me, but also sensed he would deny it if I brought it up. About 8:15, there was a knock on the door. As expected, it was Wayne. Wow, he mused, you guys are glowing with enlightenment. I must have missed the class. I'm afraid not, I said. We've been waiting for you. I don't know if that's good or bad, he said, but I guess we'll find out. Hello, Dolly. Hello, darling. After a few minutes, we indicated to Philo that we were ready to begin his class. After taking a minute to finish a cup of tea, Philo spoke. Get us 5 pillows and put them in the middle of the floor. Elizabeth retrieved 5 pillows and put them on the carpet in the center of our living room. Philo took one for himself and sat on it with his legs crossed in a loose lotus position. Then he invited us to sit in a circle around him. After we sat down, he said, come closer and stretch out your hands so you can feel my aura. We all moved closer and stretched out our hands. Closer still, he said. You must have a part of your body within the circumference of my aura. We all moved our hands a little closer toward his midsection. There, he said. Now, if you remain absolutely still for a moment, you will feel a sense of warmth radiating to your hands. We were all still for a moment. I gave it a fair shake and tried to sense some warmth. I thought I felt a little, but wasn't sure if it was a psychological effect or a real warmth. As I was in the middle of this contemplation, Lance blurted out, wow, he's not only warm, but I feel like my hands are in front of a fire. How about you? Said Philo to Elizabeth. Do you feel the warmth? I think so, she said. Shut out all distractions and concentrate. You will feel the warmth increase. Now everyone remain silent for another moment and feel the radiation. I noticed that Wayne was going to say something, but withheld when Philo asked us to remain silent for a time. Again, I decided to give Philo a fair shot and concentrated another moment. I still was not sure if I was feeling anything out of the ordinary. Again, Philo spoke. Now, Elizabeth, tell us what you feel. I do believe there is an increase in the heat, she said. Continue to concentrate and you will feel the fire, as Lance has. What Elizabeth and Lance feel is the radiation of pure love that comes from the guardians through me to all who are open to receive. How about you, Joseph? Do you feel the warmth? To be honest, I am not sure. I may feel something, but it could be psychological. I think it is physical, said Wayne. I think I feel a little heat radiation from Philo's body. There's nothing mysterious about that. You two just need to open up, said Lance. What I have felt this and other times is no body heat. No body warmth can feel like a fire. I tell you, if the heat were any greater, it would burn me. No body heat can do that. And it's possible that you have experienced a degree of hypnosis, I said. I don't think so, said Elizabeth. I know I'm not hypnotized, and I definitely feel some unusual warmth. I think we ought to give the guy a chance to prove himself. Keep tuning into that warmth, said Philo. And to Joseph and Wayne, I admonish you let go of your blockages and let the warmth into your inner selves so you can be one with the rest of us. He's right, said Lance. I've seen Brother Philo do this with 40 people, and there was not a single one who did not feel the fire of Philo's love. You guys are just blocking the flow of energy. Now loosen up, chill out, do whatever you've got to do. I don't care if 1 million people saw Jesus drive a Volkswagen in a parade, said Wayne. I wouldn't believe it unless I could confirm it for myself. And perhaps with that attitude, you would wind up missing the whole second coming, Philo. Let us continue here. Concentrate on the warmth and keep your negative thoughts in abeyance for a few moments. We tried again for a while. I felt pretty much the same questionable warmth that I did before. Then Philo broke the silence. Do you feel the warmth increasing, Elizabeth? He said. I believe so, she said. Then he turned and looked directly at her. Look me directly in the eyes, he said. She attempted to do so, blinking several times. Do not waver in your attention. Look steadily at me, he commanded. As she seemed to be attempting to obey, he scooted himself closer to her until his face was less than a foot away from hers. As he continued staring at her, he said, Our auras are now intertwined. As the guardians send the fire of their love to my aura, even so do I send my love to yours. He stretched out his hand and laid it on her forehead and said in a loud voice, Feel the fire of love. Then he pushed her head back in a way that reminded me of TV faith healers. Philo then stood up, followed by Lance, and started chanting in a loud voice, The fire, the fire, the fire is in me burning, burning, burning. Now repeat with me, he said, as he repeated it over and over. Lance joined in, and so did Elizabeth. Wayne and I sort of watched on with suspicion for a minute. Then Philo stopped and grabbed Elizabeth by the shoulders and looked her in the eyes and said in a voice close to shouting, Do you feel the heat? Yes, she said softly. Do you really feel it? Speak up. Yes, I feel it, she said. Are you willing to do the next step to feel complete love? I think so, she said. You must know so, he said again in a raised voice. He turned his head towards Lance and spoke again. Lance, are you willing to commit to a complete love? You know I am, said Lance with enthusiasm. Then Philo turned towards Elizabeth. Are you willing to commit to a complete love? Yes, I'm willing, she said finally. And when you fulfill your commitment, you will then know love divine. During this exchange with Elizabeth, I felt very uncomfortable and was tempted to insist that Philo stop this brainwashing technique. Two things made me hesitate. First, I was concerned that Elizabeth would be upset at me for interfering. And secondly, I felt a strong force around this guy that seemed to weaken my will. It was as if there were powers at play that had to be met with a strong opposing spiritual force to neutralize. I somehow sensed that this force around Philo was also keeping Wayne in a state of acquiescence for the time being. Philo then turned to Wayne and said, How about you, Brother Wayne? Are you willing to commit to a complete love? I guess that's harmless enough, he said. I'll play along. It's more than playing along, said Philo. I need a definite commitment to divine love. I said I'd play along. Okay, said Philo, but to play along, I need a definite yes out of you. Are you willing to commit to complete or divine love? Okay, the answer's yes. Now let's get on with this, said Wayne. Very good, said Philo with obvious satisfaction in his voice. Now, Joseph, are you willing to complete the circle and give your definite commitment? I've already committed, I said. Philo looked a little startled for the first time, then spoke after a pause. Have you spoken to the guardians then? I'm not sure who these guardians are, but I have committed myself to divine love. If you have not committed yourself directly to the guardians or one of their representatives, then you have not yet fully committed to divine love, he said. I can't be more committed than all the way committed, and I do have a personal commitment to fulfill the purpose of divine love, whatever that may involve, I said. Then say yes to me, commanded Philo, for I am the representative of divine love. And if I say yes, what or who am I saying yes to? What will you expect from me? Philo paused and spoke. Remember the story I told you about the ski instructor? An experienced instructor does not have to explain everything in advance, but requires a certain amount of trust. What you must do is let go of all the baggage that you carry around and trust me. Everyone else has made a commitment. Don't you think it's about time you yielded yourself to love? I keep telling you that I have already committed myself to love. But I can see by your aura, my friend, that you have a lot of negative energy that you have carried around for many years. You need to let go and let others help you. You are too fiercely independent. Just release that individualism and merge with the group energy. A little independence is a good thing, I said, as I looked in Philo's direction. I felt a familiar presence, the presence I felt with John and in the New Jerusalem. As I tried to tune into it, I began to see Philo's aura, and as I looked, it occurred to me that his description of me applied to himself. Over his head, there appeared to be a dark, circulating cloud, and around his body was a circulating mass, which was red, brown, and an off blue with patches of black. As I attempted to tune into what it meant, I immediately registered that this man did truly lack an understanding of spiritual love, just as I suspected. Words seemed to form in my heart and mind, which said, "Do not doubt that which you receive from the highest part of yourself." I looked again at Philo and noticed a cord having the appearance of gray and blue hues, which seemed to be connected to his middle back and extended upwards towards infinity. I assumed that this was the silver cord I had read about in metaphysical books and also mentioned in the Bible. After receiving this revelation, I said back to him, "I think you are giving me a description of your own condition, my friend." Philo paused a moment. I got the distinct impression that he felt a strong impulse to lash out at me, and would have if it suited his purpose, but held that feeling in check and with controlled calmness replied, "Love knows no darkness, but dispels darkness. Now, since you are unwilling to make a definite commitment to one who knows and is able to teach you, do you think you would be so kind as to remove yourself from this class and go into another room so we can continue with oneness?" "I don't think so," I replied. "Not as long as Elizabeth is here with you. If Elizabeth wants to leave with me, then I will leave you alone for a while. Otherwise, I am staying with her." Elizabeth spoke up. "You're being overprotective here, sweetie. I can take care of myself. Brother Philo seems harmless enough." "I don't care," I said. "If you're staying, I'm staying." "Then why don't you just make the commitment to love?" said Lance. "Then we can proceed with the class as it was intended." Right? If my personal commitment to spiritual love is not good enough for Philo, then that's a problem he has to deal with. This is my definite stand. It's your move, Philo. Philo looked a little ruffled. Normally I teach in friendly quarters where those who are negative leave before we continue. But since we are in your home, I cannot force you to depart. We will continue, but I do ask you to give me respect as a teacher and to participate with an open mind. If you do, you will see the wisdom of my direction. I am generally quite a cooperative character, I said. "We will continue then," he said. "You have disrupted our state of mind, so we will start again and move forward." Philo then proceeded to again take us through the program of feeling the heat and ended with recommitting Lance, Wayne, and Elizabeth. Finally, he looked at me and said, "Now, Joseph, are you willing to make a general commitment to oneness and love?" "Okay," I said, I guess I can give you that much." "Very good," he said. "We will proceed on the assumption that you are 100% committed to love and will follow the teacher to new avenues of knowledge and experience." I decided to remain silent. Philo paused and continued. "One of the major things that keeps us from experience of fullness of love is that there is a veil between us and our true selves. We continue to feed this veil of darkness in many ways on many levels. On subjective levels, we keep love away with prejudice, hate, jealousy, possessiveness, and other negative feelings. This negativity also has its representation on the physical level, just as we hide our true selves with negative clothes on the spiritual level. Even so do we hide our true physical selves with physical clothing. Clothing is a symbol of mankind's attempt to hide what he or she really is. The truth is this: the physical can be healed by removing spiritual causes, and the spiritual can be healed by making a correction on the physical level. True work on the physical level has many prejudices and resistances attached to it, but once they are removed, it is much easier and faster to progress on all levels. I began to see where this was going, but wasn't sure what to do at this point. Philo continued. "Now, to take your first major step, the most difficult part will be the setting aside of any prejudice you may have. Once this is done, the physical part is extremely easy and leads to a pleasant and unexpected liberation and freedom to explore real love." Philo then stood up and said, "Now we will begin shedding the physical symbol that hides the true love within." After making this statement, Philo began taking off all his clothes and continued until he was completely nude. As he stood before us in the buff, Philo spoke again. "See how easy this was for me to do? Because our prejudices are removed, the removal of that which hides our true physical selves was very easy." It took only a very small amount of effort and energy. Even so, on the spiritual level, it takes only a small amount of effort to find a true fullness of love. The reason I ask for a commitment from you to complete love is because we are all reluctant to experience it because of prejudice. This commitment you made allows you to set aside that illusion and bear your physical self as well as your soul. You have therefore made a promise to follow me toward love and make bare your physical selves. How about you, Lance? Are you willing to follow your word over your prejudice? "Sure," said Lance, who stood up and began taking off his clothes without reservation. As he was in the middle of shedding, he said, "Come on, Wayne, join in with us. You aren't shy, are you?" Wayne, who was never known to be shy, replied, "I don't see much purpose in it, but if Elizabeth isn't offended, I guess I could go along as an experiment." "Do you see anything to be offended at?" said Philo to Elizabeth. "I don't suppose so," she said. Then Wayne started taking off his clothes. Philo looked intently at Elizabeth. "Now you need to bear your physical as a first step towards releasing real love and freeing yourself from negative energy forever." Elizabeth looked toward me, and I gave her a look that showed my disapproval. "Don't look outside of yourself for approval," said Philo. "Look within, and that which is within will want to go toward the fire of love. Do you feel the fire?" "Yes," she said. "Do you seek the love?" "Yes." "Then bear your true self." As Philo proceeded, I felt disgusted with this attempt at controlling my wife. But something inside myself told me not to interfere with Elizabeth's free will. I saw one of you said free will. "If my husband does, then I will," she said. "I see no purpose in doing this," I said. "I think it is an attempt at mind control." "Don't be silly," said Lance. "I've done this in groups with Brother Philo several times, and believe me, it's not what you think. This class produces a great liberating experience. You can run around naked in the mall if you want, I said, but I just don't see any benefit in going along with this. I think it's kind of silly, too, said Wayne, but I agreed to give this a chance, and maybe something interesting will happen. Who knows? Let's get on with it. I was surprised to hear this from Wayne. He normally is against being controlled more than I am. Perhaps he didn't see the situation from that perspective. Then Philo spoke again to Elizabeth. You are paying too much attention to voices outside of yourself. Look within yourself and make your decision. I know you love your husband, but you must not live your life governed by his thoughts. I would still feel much more comfortable participating if Joe disrobed too, she replied. Yeah, what's your problem? Lance said to me. Are you shy or something? You have all seen me in the buff except for Philo, so that's not a big deal, I said. Call me old-fashioned, but I think my wife's body is for my male eyes only. And if she were not involved, I do not support any action that seems to be for the sole purpose of control, such as this. Right? Philo let out a laugh that reminded me of a laugh of a professor responding to a stupid remark from a student. Then he said, My poor deceived friend, you are indeed backward here, and not in a good way. In all of creation, man is the only animal that clothes himself. This is fine if we are in need of warmth, but it becomes evil when we seek to hide ourselves. The first step to finding who we are in the real world of spirit is to reveal who we are in the physical. When we can let down the barriers represented by clothing and just be whoever we really are in relation to each other, then we can establish a higher relationship on the spiritual level. We seek not to lust after your wife's body or control your mind, but only to take relationship to a higher level. Just let go of your fears and possessiveness and be one with us. I choose not to, and that comes from my inner self, I said. But what's the harm of just trying this once, said Elizabeth. If Philo takes us somewhere, we will have an interesting experience, and if not, then what's the loss? I'm sure these guys have seen naked women more beautiful than I am. This goes way beyond getting naked, I said. This guy has a hidden agenda, and control through this manipulation is his first step. Philo laughed again. Why are you so paranoid about being controlled here? I could not control you if I wanted to. Lance has been with me for some time now, and I could not control him if I wanted to. The truth is that you have inhibitions about being nude, and you need to face this prejudice you have about being totally honest on the physical level. Maybe he's right, said Elizabeth, when you think about it. What could be wrong with doing this? It's not like we are going to have an orgy. Very good thinking, said Philo. And don't forget that you gave me your personal commitment to follow this course. So if you are true to your word, we need to proceed here. She didn't give any commitment to getting naked with you, I said. Oh, but she did, he commented. She made a definitive commitment to complete love, and the first step toward this is complete honesty. To be completely honest, we must reveal who we are on the physical level. If she is to fulfill her word, she must take this step. He is a manipulative SOB, isn't he? He is so manipulative. Have you ever been around someone that preaches that they're spiritual and then they do this manipulation? That's crazy, right? I guess I did give my word, she said. But you didn't give your word on this, I said. You don't need to do this to discover complete love. This is nonsense. Again, I remind you, said Philo, that this is the first step toward complete love. And if I am right, then she would break her word by not following this procedure. I hate to say this, but if you break your word, the dagger will... He is such a jerk. I hate to say this, but if you break your word, the dagger will come back along with the negativity, and the chances are that your disease will return. He is awful. Awful. Elizabeth looked shaken. Why do you say such a thing? Because he's manipulating you? He's gaslighting you? Right? Because breaking a commitment to a master teacher is breaking a link to your soul. And without this link to your soul, your disease will come back. Look at it this way. By proceeding with the course, you will ensure your health as well as discovering the completeness of love. But if you do not go ahead, you could revert to your prior state and disease. Right? Exactly, Trina. They just met this guy. She's very easily manipulated. Even if you get nothing from the course, you have nothing to lose and much to gain. This was too much for me, and I had to speak plainly. Listen here. I'm not sure what your final goal is, but I'm putting a stop to your mind games on my wife. Elizabeth and I will go into another room and let you guys finish your love seance. Just come get us when you are done. All right. We got snaps coming, but I'll finish this chapter after snaps. Because, yeah, I mean, you guys could see that coming from a mile away, how manipulated this guy was. Very non-respectful. Exactly. Exactly. Right? Yes, she's being tested. Remember, John said she was going to be tested. Yes. We have 1 minute till snaps. He is a snake. Exactly. Exactly. But there are many spiritual gurus out there doing this exact same thing. Manipulating people. Right? All right. Here's our snaps, guys. Everyone on the butterflies, lending your energy to empowering yourselves and creating a new earth. This is our past loved ones, always with us anytime we think of them. They're with us, right beside us. This is our room. This is the dragon energy, the priest, the pan, the joker, the angel, the mother goose. We are safe in here. The XOXO and the Ankh. The white rabbit, because we do go down those rabbit holes and we are magic, and there's the time travel. There's the time travel right there. That's a hummingbird. All right. This is our room also, and a reminder that we're always watched over and cared for and protected. This is who we are. We are the rainbow butterflies. Kathy did that for us, and Steffi did that for us. This is the song of the 144,000. This is how we empower ourselves, by thanking God. So we thank you, Mother Father, that you have revealed to us your protective universal light, that within this light is complete protection from all destructive forces, that the Holy Spirit of your presence permeates us in this light, and wherever we will the light to descend. Yes. We thank you, Mother Father, that you fill us with your protective fires of love, that within this love is complete protection from all destructive thoughts and feelings, that the consciousness of Christ is lifted up in us in this love, and wherever we will the love to be inflamed. Here's a big old lucky hug for everyone in here, empowering yourselves and creating. And we thank you, Mother Father, that you are in us and we are in you, that through us your will is sent forth on wings of power, that your purpose is accomplished on earth as it is in heaven, that through us your light and love and power is manifest to all the sons and daughters of mankind. We are the love. We are the light. We are the truth. We are. And divine love is working through us here and now to create the new earth, right? Okay. Here is our healing chain, and all these people have asked us to connect our energy with theirs so that they can heal themselves. So however you do that, with light language, with Reiki, with prayer, with crystal healing. I'm going to call in Archangel Raphael, have him connect his energy to all these beautiful people. And we are going to send them love, light, and healing energy now. Mia Satosh Koros Priyata Makorosiata. Mia Satosh Koros Priyata Makorosiata. Mia Satosh Koros Priyata Makorosiata. Mm-hmm. Mm. All right. Thank you for that, everyone. Oh, I just love our snaps, man. Just gets me going in the morning, knowing that we have the power. We hold the power in our hands. We and our thoughts and our actions. We do it together, right? The 333, the Christ Conscious Collective. Yes. All right. Let's go ahead and... Whoops, did I not? We'll finish the chapter of this. Okay. Let's see what happens. What do you think happens? All right. I grabbed Elizabeth's hand and attempted to pull her along with me, but she pulled back. Wait a minute, she said. You are making a decision for me here. Maybe Philo was right. Maybe you do control me too much. But sweetie, I thought you were beginning to see through this guy. I felt as if you were looking for a way out. But even if I didn't want to participate, I also do not want to take a chance in getting my disease back. I think I should play it safe and go ahead with this. Then when Philo goes back to California, we'll never see him again, and it'll be as if nothing ever happened. Then she started crying. Don't you understand? I don't want this disease back. Philo grabbed her with perfect timing and said, There, there. I think you need some support here. Then he gave her a long hug. Remember, the guy's naked. And he just grabbed her and hugged her. Man, wow. Can't even. No. My husband would have a cow. My husband would kill somebody. All right. So, my first impulse was to physically throw him out of the house. But I resisted. And as I looked upon Philo embracing my wife and Elizabeth almost hypnotically enjoying it, I said a prayer within my heart for help. I felt I was in a catch-22. If I tried to force my will, I felt as if I may alienate Elizabeth. And if I didn't, I felt that I might lose her to some strange hypnotic control that Philo seemed to be gaining over her. As I searched my heart, I again felt that wonderful spiritual energy come to me. And as this rested upon me, my eyes became open in a way I had never experienced before. What then happened to me could not have taken more than a couple of seconds of real time. But what I beheld had the information of a 2-hour movie. Instead of Philo and Elizabeth standing before me, I saw myself As a knight of the temple in that past, as earlier related by Elizabeth, I saw that I was tied down in a torture chamber, and in a nearby room was Elizabeth as the young man she was in that life, and talking to her was Philo. He was not called Philo then, but was Brother Philippi, one who had great authority in the church. Their conversation was revealed to me as follows. Oh, so Brother Philo was part of that past life. Okay. Brother Philip says, our last subject was a tough one, but just before he died, he told us that this night we have before us has the secrets we have been looking for. Elizabeth in the past. And how will I know when I find what you are looking for? Brother Philippi, he knows what he is supposed to tell you. Just let me know everything he reveals, no matter how absurd. Do not take his life until you have inflicted all the pain necessary to obtain everything he knows. Elizabeth, but we have been inflicting so much pain. Do you really think all of this is necessary? Brother Philippi, do not in any way question my authority. Just remember this. These knights have stolen invaluable artifacts and writings from the church. These are not normal thieves, but have stolen from God, and we must do whatever is necessary to return to God that which is the church's right to possess. Any pain you cause these knights is a small price to pay to make the church whole again. Spare nothing with this knight. We cannot do enough to punish him for his crimes. Think of it this way. The hot iron we give him will be cool compared to the fires of hell from Almighty God, which he will endure for eternity. Elizabeth, I do not doubt your authority. I know you speak for the Pope, who speaks for God. I will do what you say, even though it is distasteful to me. Brother Philippi, remember, reveal only to me the church-related information you extract from him. You can give anything else to the king's representatives, but if he mentions anything about bells, writings, or a chalice, save this information for me only. Is that understood? Elizabeth, yes. After this dialogue passed by me, I seem to have discerned much more information. I saw that Elizabeth in that life was somehow involved in an inner circle that belonged to Brother Philippi. His inner circle was presented to its members as an inner order commissioned by the Pope, but in reality it was entirely Brother Philippi's creation. Brother Philippi taught his students regularly with hypnotic techniques reinforced by many fears, such as torture if they betrayed the group, and the pain of eternal hell in the hereafter. I saw that in this life, Elizabeth was a basically good person who was deceived by this man's craftiness. Next, it was revealed to me that Wayne was also a knight who was tortured to death in that life, and Lance was also there as an authority among the knights. However, Lance escaped torture and death by cooperating with the king. After this, I was moved backward in time to other lifetimes and saw that both Elizabeth and I had encountered Philo many times and rarely in a good way. Time and time again, he had garnered authority to himself and used it to manipulate others. He seemed, excuse me, he seemed to repeatedly take a special interest in controlling the entity who is now Elizabeth. Then I was moved forward in time until we arrived at the present and saw that the power of Philo and others like him was diminishing because people as a whole were becoming more independent. I perceived that there was not any regular organization in today's world where Philo seemed to fit, so he became an authority unto himself and was seeking to establish a power base of his own creation. This thing he sought to create would be of no great significance, but he was in danger of destroying the free will of a few souls. That's what this whole lesson is about, guys. It's free will. It has nothing to do with being naked. It has to do with taking the free will. If you want to get naked, for sure, absolutely. But don't let someone take of your free will choice to be naked or not, right? That's what it's all about. It's about the choice. The choice. And if one of those was my wife, he would then become a successful agent of the Dark Brothers. At this realization, I was released from the vision. I immediately stepped toward Elizabeth, grabbed her, and pulled her toward me and said, "Sweetheart, I know who this is. He was Brother Philippi, who ordered you to torture the Knights of the Temple, and now he's trying to control you once again." Elizabeth backed off from me. "Where did you get such an outrageous idea? Just trust me this one time. This is Brother Philippi." "And how would you know anything about Brother Philippi?" asked Philo. And at that moment, I intuitively realized that he possessed a knowledge of who he was. I know who you are and what you want to do," I said. "You know nothing about me and have no understanding of the light that I bring," he said in a voice that was much cooler than any previous tone of voice he used before. Wayne and Lance just looked on in curious wonder during this exchange. "If you truly remember me, then you would know the secret of the tree of life," Philo continued. "You would also know the meaning of the bells. Tell me about them, and I will release your wife from her commitment." "I told you nothing then, and will tell you nothing now," I said. This seemed to jar Elizabeth into asking, "Are you really the same entity as Brother Philippi?" Philo paused a moment and replied, "I do not know who this Brother Philippi is, but in past lives I have been the true caretaker of the tree of life and the bells, and am supposed to receive them again in this life. If your husband knows anything about them, he should tell me. All you will be allowed to know you can read in the books that I shall write," I said. "But you will not be able to write all the details," he said. "Tell me what you know and how you know it, and I shall release your wife from her commitment. I can only tell you this. I know who you are. You did not get what you were looking for from the Knights of the Temple, and you shall not get it in this life." Ha ha ha. Philo looked impatient, then composed himself and asked, "Tell me what you know about the bells." "If I did know something, I wouldn't tell you, not in the last life and not in this one. You mentioned something about writing a book about a 2,000-year-old man that you met. You really have met someone, haven't you?" "I wouldn't tell you if I had." "That's enough," he said with a raised voice. "I can tell that you are completely unwilling to cooperate. I am also unwilling to cooperate. Elizabeth, keep your commitment and disrobe this instant, or your disease will return." She looked back at him with fear in her eyes and said, "You were Brother Philippi, weren't you?" Philo looked visibly disturbed. "It doesn't matter who I was. You made a commitment and must keep it, or your guilt will punish you by returning the disease to your body." I stepped toward Philo and said, "She made no such commitment to undress for you. She made a commitment to love, just as she has always been committed to it. All she has to do is to fulfill that commitment is to love to the best of her power, and I know that is what she will always do. Philo looked at Elizabeth. As I told you, you listen too much to your husband. You must make the decision. Are you going to join us in physical honesty or not? I don't think so, she said. If you want to continue this class, then my husband and I will go into another room. Or you may leave and go elsewhere. I am done with this continuing education for the moment. Very well, he said. There is nothing I can do to help you then. The whole matter is out of my hands. Your disease will come back within days, perhaps hours. I can see that dagger reinserting itself as we speak. And when it is in your back again, and you are weak again, you will have to come to me and bury yourself before me if you wish to be restored to health. I think it's time you left our home, I said. You have just sunk to the lowest level of manipulation that I have ever imagined. I then walked over to his pile of clothes and picked them up and threw them out the door. Now I am going to the bathroom. When I come out, I want you and your clothes to be in the same place. As I started walking down the hall, I spoke up. Now hold on here, just hold on. I'm not sure what has just happened or what your problem is, Joe, but Brother Philo and I are together here. It's obvious that you and him have some bad vibes. So I'll tell you what, just let us stay tonight and we'll get another place to stay tomorrow until we leave. How about it? I'll do that for you, Lance, because you are my friend. But keep this guy away from my wife. It will not be long before she comes to me for help, said Philo. When her disease returns and she needs my help, how are you going to keep her away from me then? Lance, I said, take this guy in the guest bedroom out of my sight or he has to go. Leave immediately. Okay, said Lance. He then led Philo down the hall to the bedroom. But as Philo walked down the hall, he turned his head and looked at Elizabeth and mouthed 2 words with a smile. I thought the words were, "You're mine," but I wasn't sure. I had never seen a person push his luck so much. At this point, Wayne had his clothes back on, looking a little embarrassed, if that is possible for Wayne. He was the type of character who didn't embarrass that easily. I must say this, said Wayne. This evening has been more interesting than if the whole event turned into an orgy with dancing girls. I must say that Philo is a piece of work. I'd like to know what his whole motive was, though. I'll tell you one thing, I said. It's not the teaching of universal love. I suppose not, he said. Most preachers and New Agers are spreading love to the benefit of number 1. Some things never change. There are a lot of phony teachers out there, I said, but I also think there are a few good ones. Possibly, he said. I guess I'd better be going. I'll catch you for breakfast this weekend. I'll plan on it, I said. By the way, Wayne smiled to Elizabeth, now that you've seen me in the buff, I hope your fantasies of me don't hurt your relationship with Joe here. I don't think that's going to be a problem, she said, returning the jest. Yeah, Wayne, that's not going to be a problem, I said, allowing him his moment of levity. Just thought I'd voice my opinion, he said, walking out the door. At least Wayne is harmless, I said to Elizabeth after he left. But something about Philo has made my skin crawl ever since I met him. Something about him makes my skin crawl now, said Elizabeth. I just don't know why I didn't sense something earlier. You apparently have a history of being controlled by the guy, I said. Based on what we know now, I can see why you were influenced by him. Perhaps, she said, but I think I should have woke up earlier. I have my modern-day night to thank for helping me. Thank you, my sweet. She then gave me a long, lingering hug. So, yeah. Just a big reminder, Spirit came in is when I was at the end of that and just said, just a reminder. Okay, there are teachers out there like that, manipulative. They base their teachings on fear. And that is why we are being called, because we are not like that. The more teachers like us, the better. Right? Can you see that? So that was the reason for that chapter in that story, to show us that, yes, there are teachers out there like that. Exactly. Exactly. Fear-based stuff is what brings us down in frequency also. All right, guys, that was class for the day. Do you guys want to go over to TikTok for and chat? We can talk about that because I didn't get to, because I'm reading, I don't get to see your comments. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, you're welcome. Yes. Yes. They destroyed their own soul. They don't get to respond. And we will only respond love and light. Heaven on earth soon. Yes. I told you it was going to be a little spicy. Oh, look. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Right, Serafina? Right? Ah. All right, guys, we'll go over to TikTok so we can talk about this. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I will see you on TikTok.